What's up guys, Earl here, Tech, and POCO's latest flagship devices has just launched and they come in two variants. The standard POCO F5 powered by a Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 and the POCO F5 Pro with a much more powerful Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. So what are the key differences between these two and which one is for you? That's what we are about to find out in this comparison. Let's dive into these devices' display. At first glance, you may assume that both of these devices have exactly the same screen. A 6.67-inch AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate sandwiched with a Corning Gorilla Glass 5. But taking a closer look at their respective specs, you can see that there are some pretty significant differences in their display resolutions, brightness, and touch sampling rate. For the vanilla model, which is the POCO F5, it has a full HD Plus resolution with 2400 by 1080 pixels and 1000 nits peak brightness, while the Pro variant strikes a high resolution, which is a Quad HD Plus display with a resolution of 3200 by 1440 pixels and also has a higher peak brightness at 1400 nits. It's also worth mentioning that the 240Hz touch sampling rate on the vanilla model versus the 480Hz on the POCO F5 Pro. The latter will definitely be more attractive to mobile gamers who take reaction time very seriously. Now when it comes to performance and benchmarks, it is no surprise that the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 on the POCO F5 Pro outperforms the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 on the base model POCO F5. It's a flagship chipset after all, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the Snapdragon 7 Plus is any worse. In fact, it almost catches up with the Snapdragon 8 Plus on all performance indicators according to Nano Review. Check out our side-by-side benchmark scores here. Therefore, you'll sure be getting the flagship level experience you deserve on the POCO F5 and the POCO F5 Pro. Furthermore, they are both equipped with some level of heat dissipation with a 5000 square millimeter stainless steel vapor chamber on the POCO F5 Pro and 3725 square millimeter copper vapor chamber on the base model POCO F5. Both utilizes an up to 12 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM and UFS 3.1 storage technologies for those faster bandwidths. The POCO F5 is default to only 256 gigs of internal storage, but the POCO F5 Pro takes up to 512 gigs, giving you more storage options. But unfortunately, both of these devices doesn't have an expandable storage option, so do take note of that. For the camera department, both have a 64 megapixel triple lenses at the back and 16 megapixel selfie camera up front. Although there are some minor differences, specifically the stabilization and video recording capabilities. The F5 Pro with support for both OIS or optical image stabilization and electronic image stabilization or EIS can record videos up to 8K resolution at 24 frames per second and 4K at 60 frames per second. The POCO F5 on the other hand is left with only OIS and 1080p video up to 60 frames per second. For battery, we have a higher 5160 mAh cell on the POCO F5 Pro combined with 67W fast charging and 30W wireless charging, in which POCO says can charge the device to 50% in just under 32 minutes. The POCO F5 on the other hand uses a 5000 mAh cell with the same 67W fast charging technology, but there's no wireless charging here. In our battery benchmark, the POCO F5 Pro got 13 hours and 12 minutes while the POCO F5 lasted a bit better at 14 hours and 21 minutes. Both models supports the sweet 5G connectivity, Android 13 with MIUI 14 for POCO, and on top of that, both of these devices has IP53 splash proofing certification. The POCO F5 Pro gets an in-screen fingerprint sensor while the POCO F5 is left with a side-mounted fingerprint sensor. If you ever want to use wired headphones or earphones, then you have a 3.5mm audio jack at your disposal, but it's only applied on the POCO F5. Now to conclude this video, the POCO F5 along with its sibling the POCO F5 Pro have both proven to be a more compelling choice that gives you a flagship level experience with significantly lower price as compared to other flagship phones out there. while the Pro variant does offer some significant upgrades such as higher resolution display, a much more powerful chipset, and better camera stabilization. The base model still holds up quite well in terms of performance and features. Ultimately, it will come down to personal preference and budget when deciding which of these devices to go for. If you are interested on the POCO F5 and the POCO F5 Pro prices, I'll be flashing it on screen right now. And there you have it, guys. What do you guys think about the POCO F5 and the POCO F5 Pro? And which of these two devices are you getting for yourself? Do let us know in the comment section below. And if you find this video helpful, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you won't miss any future uploads, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and visit youtech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Arel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.